What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? God, my voice sounds so bad. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Verified AMA. I'm your host, Lawton Ho, here with Verified Investing, and I go live every single day that the markets are open from 12:30. Oh, it followed me. I shouldn't have done that. From 12:30 to 1:15. I didn't realize it was going to do that. That's crazy. Um, what's going on, guys? I'm feeling a little bit better. My voice is slightly better, but let's hope it continues to go up from here. With that being said, guys, while you're here, before I continue, hold up. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you can give us a follow, subscribe to us on the Verified Investing YouTube channel, and share this with your friends. Leave a comment. I read these comments, so thank you so much for everybody and your kind words. With that being said, guys, the way this works is that you ask questions and I give answers. You can go ahead and scan this QR code down below to ask your question, or visit the verifiedinvesting.com homepage, click that little watch and ask expansion tool, and you can go ahead and submit your question. I'll be answering these questions in terms of the order in which they were asked. But what's going on, everybody? What's going on with the charts? That's what I want to know. A couple things, notable things to talk about before I hop into these questions. First thing, we got to talk about it. Huge ruling in the case regarding specifically Google, Apple too, but Google mostly. Google, why? Because a judge ruled that they did not have to sell Chrome or Android as part of the monopoly ruling. Sorry, had a brain fart. Monopoly ruling. They did say that they would have to share their data, but it's interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens moving forward, right? They're going to appeal that decision, of course, saying that they have to share their data with their competitors. But Google is up decently, 8.5%. It's not every day you see almost a $3 trillion company gain 8% market share overnight. So, anyways, what questions do you guys have for me? Elvis says, hi, Lon. What's up, Elvis? Hope you're doing well, brother. What are your thoughts on ENPH and phase for a long-term hold? Would you buy at this level? Where would you buy more? So if you like EN and phase for long-term, that's fine. I'm not going to discourage you. But I will say this. If I can figure out, my buy levels are on 228.66. But let's see if I can find some potential levels. Try and draw some trend lines. I'm struggling to speak. You have a couple, like generally you have this kind of upsloping, right? You have this upsloping trend line. Like it's in an uptrend, right? If this breaks, favors a move lower, you're likely to get a bounce. I'm just going to draw directly on my chart every single place that I anticipate a bounce on end phase, should it continue lower. So what you can go ahead is sorry, you can go ahead and screenshot this or watch it back later to find my levels, but I'll explain them now. If this breaks, it favors a move lower. First area, gap fill. Second area, previous gap fill. Third area, gap fill. These are probably gap fills and pivot lows down here, 28.66 and 27.53. Let's see if I'm right. How far back are we going? Oh, yeah. And would you look at that? Gap fill, pivot low, gap fill. Perfect. Those are my levels right there on M-Phase for a potential long. Marcus says toast seems like a good head and shoulders. Marcus says, is this pattern legit? It's as legit as you want it to be. Let's take a look. Okay. Yes, it is legit. Talking about shoulder, head, shoulder. Doesn't get much cleaner than that. That's pretty legit pattern, brother. Yeah. We try to break below it today. Unable to. Let's see that measured move, huh? The measured move is a move down. Approximately 21%. I'd cover right here at this gap fill. I like it. You're going to look for these one of two things. Let's just turn this into a teachable moment really quick. So you can either enter on a break or a retrace to the neckline. Okay? So yes, I like it. I like it. I would cover here at 36.68. It's not like a biggest move, but dude, I'll take it with 12% winner any day of the week, wouldn't you? You would. So Juan says, good morning, Lon. I bought a VXX a couple of weeks ago. How long can I hold it before it gets against me? Right now I'm down a couple $100. I was gonna dump it yesterday, but market quickly turning. Yeah, VXX popped again today. I know that we're currently holding this for a swing, so we're bullish on it. If it can break up, I expect to move like 15-ish% higher. Nathan says, oh man, the yawning again. Darn. Nathan says, good morning, Lon. Good morning, Nathan. What's the chart say about Bitcoin? That it broken down sloping trend line favors a move higher. I target up here to 116, 117. Bitcoin, is it still bearish or is the latest bounce to bullish? Yeah, broke this down sloping trend line, even though it came all the way down here to 107. My prediction is it goes up to 116, 117. Natural gas. Let's check natural gas. Yeah, natural gas broke this down sloping trend line. Gotta delete that. Delete that too. Really nicely. Retraced to it yesterday. Retraced to this trend line yesterday. Over here. Had a nice move up over 9% from that level. For me, I'd look to take profits around 15% higher if you're in it. But natural gas looks good. Look how far down it is in the charts anyways. Looks good. Bridget says, hey, Lawton. Maybe you could try a meal replacement shake at lunchtime. You'd mentioned if you don't eat lunch, you eat junk food on the way home. Maybe something nutritious would make you feel better and shake off the sore throat and fever. Hope you're feeling better today. Thank you so much. By the way, can I share my great news? My account is in the green after 5 years of red. Wow. Everybody clap in the chat for Bridget. Congratulations, Bridget. And thank you for that tip. That's something I considered. A combination of wins from verified investing and taking the knowledge of dollar cost averaging and applying it to my other long-term holds. Thank you. I highly recommend the VI membership. Best decision I've ever made. Well, Bridget, I'm so thankful for you. Thank you so much for sharing. Congratulations. And that's what it's all about, right? As much as it is about, us making money, of course, selling products, like every business has to do to survive. The core, at its core, the goal and the vision of the company is one geared towards the success of our customers, and I hate calling you guys customers. and I hate calling, members customers. I prefer to call them members of our community because realistically, you guys help us as much as we help you. Yes, we give the trades. Yes, we teach them the knowledge. But once you get the knowledge, you guys reiterate that to us. Help us be our eyes and our ears in the markets. Send trade ups our way. The couple, like last week on a Friday, Samuel gave me a trade idea on Wendy's, and I actually gave that out as a swing trade in one of my services. So you guys help us just as much as we help you. But congratulations, Bridges. I'm so proud of you. But just because you're in the green doesn't mean you can let go of the gas, right? There's always more to learn. There's always more to do. And let's turn that green into even more green, huh? Mar says right on time, buddy. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, Mar. John says, hello, Lon. What's your near-term target on the SOXX? Okay, near-term target on... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, my near-term target... First target down here, down below 237. And then I'll be looking at levels like here, around 226. This is my target for the SOXX. Down about 5% lower. Wes says, question about AMAT. Okay, applied materials. Yep, it's coming down. Can you look at my chart? I have two factors coming in or so daily. Seems to be retracing again to the descending trend line. Could retrace multiple times with good probabilities of offensive thoughts. All right, thank you for sending your charts, Wes, and thank you so much as always for being here, leaving your questions. I like your chart. I like the chart. Let's see if I can draw that same trend line. Trend line through here, I'm assuming. Let's see if you can pull it through there. Not quite. It's a trend line from here through here, it looks like. Yeah, for me, I like it. My X marks the spot is actually coincides with this low pivot right here. So level's good. For me, X marks the spot around 153.50. But your level is so close that it's like right there anyways. It's within like a normal margin of error. It's like $1. So yeah, anywhere around here it looks like a two-factor trade for me personally. You also have the RSI dipping. It's not below 30. So John says, wasn't sure if you saw my last question. Saw it. What's your short to midterm prediction for stocks? Yep, I gave that already. And guys, just know I'm a little slow on the questions. I'm reading like the order in which you ask your question. I'm going to answer it. For reference, it's currently 12:44, and I'm reading a question from 12:32. So if I don't answer your question immediately, it's not because I'm ignoring you or I don't like you. It's just because. All right, let's see this. Cool Buddy says, what's up? Hey, Lon. Hope all is well. It's not too bad. What are your thoughts on Reddit and SoFi? Bullish or bearish? Potential measured targets at all? I can't. Oh, you just want it all, huh? Don't you? So I was going to short Reddit up here at 241, but it fell. I'm bearish on Reddit. After this move today, target probably down here to 189. SoFi. Oh, SoFi. Let's see here. You have a little trend line action here. Let's see. Kind of like a wedge-ish, right? Not the best. Better wedge would be using this level here for wedge. Expanding this out. But you have this kind of upsloping trend line now. I'm bearish on this. If it can break below, my target would be somewhere around here, around 1922 on SoFi. Mars is down, baby, down. Yeah. Am I screaming too much? Am I too excited? Oh, can we go any lower? Say limbo. Oh, Mars says, gotcha. For the stock market, yeah. S&P is is green, is red right now. It's green. So let's see if it comes down and goes red. That'd be interesting to see. Lawton, our Google puts crazy idea, Keith says. Yeah, I'm bearish on Google. I don't have a level though. Dude, this thing is just monster. It destroyed every single one of the trend lines I had. My next level of resistance is like 250 Pierce. 250. I don't have anything. Like I literally have nothing on Google. It's bullish news, but it could be a sell the news event and fall, right? Our puts on Google a crazy idea. It's really risky. Now, are is a short on Google crazy? No, but puts depends on your risk tolerance. Any swing trades for this week? Buddy says, I just gave you so many trades. I just gave you 2 trades and their targets. Jordan says, where did you go for technical analysis academics when you started out? I'm a beginner and looking to build a solid foundation for day trading. Any recommendations on where to start? Yeah. Here's the first thing I'll say. And I do this every single time somebody asks me about beginner stuff. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on courses and programs when you literally are just getting started. As much as I'd love for you to support our business and give us your money, right? That's the point of every business, right? I'm not going to tell you to buy all the courses on our website. You can if you want, and they would be a great benefit to you. But before you do that, check out all the free stuff we have on our website. Let me share my screen. So there I am. If you go to our homepage, right, you click up here in the top left, the Traders Resource Center. Guys, there is literally a free course, which is designed to give you guys beginners. Look how many modules there are. A solid foundation in trading. Okay, look at this. We have, all right, let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 times 3, which is 42. 42 plus 1. We have 43 free modules uploaded right now. So you can take advantage of that for free. Secondly, we have these trader insights, which are articles that are there's only 4, but they will teach you measured moves, okay, what a bottoming and topping tail is, and these other 2 things, which one is find a reason not to buy it, and then controlling emotions. Okay, those are 4 great articles, totally free. The next thing is we have a stock trading 101, a literal free ebook that I, Lawton Ho, here with Verified Investing, wrote for all of you out there that teaches you the very, very basics of stocks. Totally free. And then we have a top 10 trading mistakes webinar, a webinar that literally just tells you the 10 biggest mistakes that beginners make. Additionally, we have the earnings calendar. We have all this educational content. Like, look at these educational articles. 15 pages of this, right? What else do we have? Economic charts. We have professional charts, pro charts here. And these are videos that Gareth makes 10 minutes long. Okay, he published this talking about the real reason that the market's dropped. Guys, this is literal digital gold. And this is all free on our website. So I'm not going to tell you to buy our $1,000 course. I'm not going to tell you to buy our $250 course. Not yet. Right? Because of how much I believe in our product, check out everything that we have for free. Totally free. And then after that, you want to learn more. Once you get the basic, this you realize this is for you. Awesome. Welcome in. Come check out our courses. Winning Trader Series, Gareth's Magnus course has everything he's ever learned in his beautiful brain. That beautiful cranium of his is inside of this Winning Trader Series. Mastering VWAP by Dr. V. It's a great course. The 1 minute scalpel, though, this is the best course for probably day trading, I would say. Day trading. And I think it's $250, $500. When it's on sale, it's $250. But anyways, guys, sorry, I went off on a long tangent. Anyways, Jordan, welcome to the world of trading. Check out all the stuff we have for free, guys. It's so awesome. All right, back to the charts. Mark says, hi, Lon. What's up, Mark? So what support and resistance do you see for KDP? Yeah, KDP is kind of like a stinker, right? Let's go here. KDP is kind of a stinker. It fell off of so Keurig and Dr. Pepper, they're splitting their brands. For me, you're likely to get a bounce. There's a pivot low over here at 28.62. And my max downside, is 27.66. So this is pretty much my max downside for the most part. I mean, you could go down to COVID lows, but I highly doubt it. I doubt it gets there. These are realistically the levels that I'm looking at for a bounce. You see it right here. It did bounce off of this previously on KDP. 28.62. That's the level it hit and then bounce. Same thing today. Hit and then bounce. And then 27.66. As far as resistance, I don't see much resistance until somewhere around just under the $30 level. 29.79. Pretty much. On KDP. Eddie says, what are your thoughts on FTNT? Fortinet. Yeah, so I have this. I expect a bounce around 74.57. And I'd consider buying it at 70.15 down here. 70.15. I have these levels. Would I be bullish? Yeah, it does favor a bounce, but look, from earnings, you did have a 16% bounce. So this pullback is like 50% retrace. Makes sense. Mar says, hi there, Lauren. How low can we go? No limbo, but today. Yeah, all right. Sarah says, how are you, Lauren? I'm good, Sarah. Hope you're well. XDC. Wow, that was insane. That she sent me a chart, but said a bunch of other things. Okay, head and shoulders pattern. XDC, USD. Let's go back to this. Head and shoulders, yep. The valid shoulder, head, shoulder, absolutely valid. Is XCT longer term bullish, reversal falling wedge, potential upside target, pull height, measure move? Okay. Yeah, this does look a little overextended. Looks like it favors a bounce. 100% absolutely. This looks bullish. XTC does look bullish, I will say. Retrace to this trend line, but on a clean break, close above confirmation, I expect this to go up. Probably to 88-ish cents. Or 8 cents, if not higher, right? But yeah, I like this setup. Nino says, Lawton, I think of selling my calls on stocks to reduce my cost. My thoughts, you're at 956. Yeah, that's a little high on stocks, I would say. I do think it gets there, but I think it gets in the nines, but 956 is a little high. I'd try and get my average down a little bit there, Nino. Taylor says, what up, dude? What's up, Taylor? Have you ever traded THM? No. Or USAS? Double no. But it's all good. You mainly trade miners. Yep. SBSW. Yeah, for sure. These two are the strangest movers of all the metal miners I've ever traded. I actively trade about 15 miners daily, weekly. They seem to lag on the metals, and most miners are the biggest swing. Currently, I trade these two the most. Could you tell me if you traded them or if there anything particular on the charts? Thanks, man. Plus 36% year to date since April. Nice, and verified investing is a daily tool watch for me. Congratulations, Taylor. Congratulations. All right, USAS. Dude, it's hard for me to chart this because it's under $1 billion market cap. For me, I think you're going to get resistance up here, but I think it could move up there around 328. So if I was long this, I would sell around 16% higher. As far as THM, this thing, dude, this is even smaller company. I don't have anything on this stock, to be honest. I know you love miners. I can't. This is too small for me. 190 vote would be my target of resistance, so like 23% higher. I can't give you anything on these charts, man. They're too small market cap. I apologize, though. Sarah says, thank you, Lawton. Of course. Is Ondo. Short-term dropping below descending triangle. Let's see. Longer term, will it break up? I think it does break up. Looks bullish. Yeah, there's that wedge. Inverse head and shoulders. I mean, I would not say it's inverse head and shoulders. This one is upsloping, so it's not valid there. You could say, right? You could say that there's a head and shoulders here. Right? So you couldn't. Armpits lower. Nah. I don't have an inverse head and shoulders. I know you sent me one. Let me take a look at that. Let me see this one, Sarah. Yeah, that head and shoulders. I mean, it's not valid because this drops lower than this. This head drops lower than this. Drops lower. Let's just talking about this here. No, you're not. Yeah, this drops lower than this, so it's not valid. But despite that, I still think this is a bullish bias. Downsloping trend line breaking out of. See if it can confirm. If it can confirm, I'd be targeting a move up, maybe 19%. Up here to around 114. Okay. See what else we got. MD says, hey, Lon, could you please give some insight into CRM going to earnings today? Yeah, Salesforce has earnings today. What do I have? I had a head and shoulder, beautiful, massive head and shoulders. It tried to break it, retraced back into right. Has this beautiful down sloping trend line. So it can go either way, right? Absolutely could go either way. But if you want a level on earnings, I usually don't give those out because we're trading it today, but I will. For you, I'd be happy to. 5% move there. 4% there. 9% move there. Yeah, so generally what I'm doing is just measuring the moves off of previous earnings to determine how much I'm expecting CRM to move. So it generally moves between around 5-ish% off of earnings. So let's find some levels for potential bounce on CRM. So first off, 5%, this is going to get you in that sweet spot right here. Around 4 to 5%, there's a beautiful gap fill here. And another level here if it comes down. I look for additional support at this pivot low down here at 226. But I'd be very surprised if CRM fell 11%. For resistance on CRM, if you want to stay in that 5-ish%, you can use this high pivot. I don't love that level. I'd be more interested somewhere around here. You do have to remember, though, that CRM does have this kind of downsloping trend line that, should it break, favors a move up around 9% to around 285. Okay. As far as Lucid adjust drawings. So Lucid did have a stock split. Fell off of the stock split. I have no levels on Lucid. No levels on Lucid. Aaron says, where do you see an entry long into Circle? Love tuning into your student. Great work. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thanks for being here. 106 is my level. 106. 106 and then 83. Again, I shorted it up here at 280. I held it to 155. I wish I shorted more shares instead of just 50 shares. But happy to make 5K, right? Juan says, good afternoon. I hope you're feeling better. Thanks so much, brother. How about the Qs? Let's talk about the Qs. Yeah, Qs gapped higher. Why? We know it. You know it. I know it because of Google. Because of Google. But excuse me, guys. I don't have much on the Qs. I'd have to see where they close today. I don't have much, to be honest. I can go intraday. Midterm, it's at the middle of the charts, literally in the middle. Literally in the middle of the charts. Pulled off a VWAP. I expect it to push to around 571.30 today. And close around there if we get a nice float into the afternoon. Got you, look, man, with the – I already did that CRM. Guys, I'm going to be live for 10 more minutes. So if you have any more questions, please send them my way. I'd be more than happy to take your question. Let me see what I got here. Yeah, I just got – someone said Google is breaking out. Is it? Google, not so much. Apple, yes. But look, at their charts are pretty similar. Continuing higher, I actually think this favors a pullback. If we can get a break of this upsloping trend line. Question is if. I was like, where'd I get that chart? Where'd I get that from? Google pushing higher too. Yeah. Let's see if it can break past this double top. But it's at all-time highs, huh? Mar says, what do you think for your first long and short level on Solana? Absolutely. Coming right up. Solana, wow, this chart is ugly. This chart is ugly. See what I got, huh? Wow. Guys, I'm salivating. I don't know if you guys are. It's just a trader thing. It's a special interest type of thing. But dang, is this pretty. Pivot. Trend line. Pivot. 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 Upsloping trend line. Ooh, there you go, Solana. That's the level. That's my shortable level on this trend line. That's where you got to short Solana. Right there. Boom, 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 boom. Where would I go long, Solana? 175. 176, 175 on Solana. But wow, look at that beautiful trend line. So beautiful. Look how perfect that is. Oh. Look at that rising wedge as well. It's all coming together. Chad says, hi, mate. Just managed to catch the end of the show. Thanks for being here, Chad. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're feeling well today. Yep, I'm feeling a little better. Could you please provide your fills on your view, on General Mills? Yeah, what is that ticker again? GIS. There it is. It's close to the COVID lows. Yeah, considering entering this for swing long. I actually do love this level. Wow. This is a dividend paying stock. I might have to enter this trade in my service. Love this trade. Love it, love it, love it. If it comes down a little more, $47, that would be a great level to enter. I actually do really like this trade. Dude, this thing is just so beaten down. Good company. Pays a dividend. Has tons of downsloping trend line. I love this trade. Wow. If this comes down a little more, I'll probably enter this in my service. See the payout. 61 cents. Yield 3% dividend now. So 4.5%. It's pretty decent. I actually really like this trade. Looks great. I might even want to get in if it came down to this gap fill. Around 48, 41. Like 2% lower. I'd be interested. Looks good for a long. I'd hold this. You're welcome, Mar. I had those lines as well. Nice to see you confirm. Awesome, Mar. MD says, thank you so much for the CRM analysis. Thank you so much for the question. Can you analyze and chart hymns? Absolutely. Hymns and hers health. Oh, wow. Somebody, I'm blind. There's too much going on. What's going on? Yeah, this is insane. This is what an insane person looks like. Anyways. Resistance, first level resistance, 10% higher at this gap fill. I'd consider a short there, especially intraday. For a bounce, you do have that gap fill back down 8%. Wow, him's gapping back up today. Why is it up? That's a great question. Up 9%. Why is it up? Okay, that didn't work, but expands preventative care access. Okay, some random news. But yeah, if it came back down here, I'd be a buyer for swing. If it came up there, I'd short it for day trade. I said swing here. I mean, it could go lower. You just have to DCA, right? You also don't have to buy there for a swing. You could wait to get it for it to get to this upsloping trend line here and then buy approximately $37.50. Alan says, hi, I'm a new member and I was in the live trading room this morning. I noticed most of you do shorting. Do you buy stocks and sell those during sessions? My platform doesn't let you short. Yeah, first of all, Alan, welcome. Absolutely. I almost went long. 2 different stocks today. And I was very close. But I only, when I do it, I go long. I only go long. Wow, look at TXN. Dude, look at this bounce, man. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Under 192. That was the level to enter along. Oh. But, yeah. 4 minutes left, guys. Get your questions in. Alex says, hey, Lon, how about MRVL and SMCI? Yeah. I'm looking at day trading. Yeah. MRVL down off of earnings. Where is the support for MRVL? There's a gap fill down here. I'd be interested around $57.58. Additional levels around 50.44 for a bounce on MRVL. If you want one more level, there's this previous gap fill that coincides with this nice pivot here. You delete these. Go ahead, take a picture on these charts for me, Alex. And these are the levels of support for me on MRVL. As far as SMCI is concerned, SMCI don't have any great levels to buy. There's a gap fill here at 38.87. If it came there, I'd buy it for a day trade. If it went up to 41.450, I'd short it there for a day trade. So those are my day trading levels. As far as longer term levels, I don't really love SMCI. They're definitely more shady as far as the semiconductors goes, as far as not disclosing statements, potentially getting delisted from the stock market. So I don't really have too many great swing levels on SMCI, maybe around $33.50. I'd be interested in SMCI. David says, Hood. Okay. I have a Head and Shoulders that broke 103.87. Do you think that's a good shorting opportunity? Let's take a look. First of all, I will say yes. Hood is way overextended. So my answer is going to be yes. I haven't even finished analyzing the chart. There's your Head and Shoulders pattern. There's the neckline. I'll draw it like this so it's easier for you guys to see. Let's see this measured move on Hood. That measured move on Hood is a move down. 21%, I'd probably cover it here. I target around $83. I like this short. I do like this short. Absolutely. Great spot there, David. Great one. And it looks like I'm out of water, but not only am I out of water, I'm also out of time. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoy this content, consider liking this, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to us on YouTube. And if you have more questions, you can always send them to me on Twitter at Lawton Investing. My name Lawton, followed by the word investing. But if you're going to miss me, then I have great news for you, because in 5 minutes, literally in 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, 15, not literally 5 minutes, in literally 15 minutes, 15 minutes, we're going live for the live day trading room. So you're going to be able to get an access into the live day trading room absolutely free on YouTube. You can't ask questions, but you can see how we work, see exactly what you would get in the live day trading room. And that's going to be live from 1:15 to 3:30. So about an hour and a half. 1:30 to 3:30. 2 hours. God, there's something wrong. There's a lot of things wrong with my brain. But anyways, scan this QR code or visit the Verified Investing YouTube channel to watch us live and chat. I'm going to be on camera again. So literally it's the same in literally 14 minutes. Okay? Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, my name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing. And I go live every single day. The markets are open from 1:15, from 12:30 to 1:15. If you enjoyed this, please consider sharing it, liking it. And again, if you have any additional questions, go ahead and send them to me on Twitter at Lawton Investing. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see you in 14 minutes. Have a good one. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.